All right. All right. All right. We have callers here. We have Fullerman and Sean. I'm going to bring in Fullerman first. Sean, hang on, okay? Hey,
Hey,
Fullerman,
how's it
welcome
going?
to the show again.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem, no problem. So, have
Yeah.
you? What do you think about all this Pan-Africanism thing?
Yeah.
As far as how are Africans even benefiting from this?
Well, first and foremost, Amilcar Cabral, Thomas Sankara, and the like thereof, they didn't even call themselves Pan-Africanists. They just got the work done. And more importantly, they were more concerned with how to build their own country up before they were worried about the greater welfare of African people everywhere. Their
Right,
first thing was building up their own country, because you have to understand that, like, their country was coming from war-torn conflicts and colonialism. So it wasn't like they extended an invitation and told Black Americans, yeah, come to Guinea-Bissau, come to Cape Verde. They didn't do that. You
right,
know, they didn't say, come to Burkina Faso. Yeah, we're all one. They didn't do that.
right,
They didn't do those things. Second of all, as a Fulani, I'm gonna just be, and this will probably make people mad. It bugs me when, like, Black Americans claim Fulani heritage when they don't know anything about Fulani heritage. And like for example, um, there is no Fulani without Islam for the most part. I mean, there are Bush Fulanis who don't practice Islam, but they are very few and far in between.
right,
But how can you claim to be Fulani and then you're trying to impose your own ideas about Kemet and things like that into our tribe? And it's like, we're gonna look at you funny.
right,
Like,
right,
and the same thing with Pulaku. Like, we have a code of conduct called Pulaku, and, like, the fact that they don't understand Pulaku and will not read into Pulaku, it just goes to show that, like, okay, well, are you guys claiming these tribes for romanticism? Like, why are you claiming these tribes for? Like, to romanticize, like, the being part of a tribe, you know? For
yeah.
example,
Because yeah, you're right. It's about romanticizing, you know, um, Africa, the tribes, but it's like when it really comes to what the tribe is, you notice when people are talking about tribes, they always add the ism there to try to make it seem like it's a negative thing. Have you noticed that?
I do notice that, like, especially when I talk in my native tongue, sometimes I may talk with my native tongue with like a fellow Fulani, and someone will say, "Oh, why are you guys talking in that tongue? We're all one." And it's like, well, maybe this is the only thing he understands, you know? Like why wouldn't I talk into something that he understands, you know?
Well,
Um,
if we are all one, then don't you think you would have had no problem me speaking my language? You see? So right then and there, that totally just debunks this, entire thing, because
yeah,
you're not making any efforts to try to learn. If you're truly serious about it, you're not making any efforts to learn. You want me to change to become you.
exactly. And it's like I'm not gonna do that. Like, um, it's the same thing with dealing with Western women. Like, um, the difference between a Fulani woman who's traditional and a Western black woman is like night and day.
Right.
And so you mean to tell me that you want to bring these ideas to her and she's going to look at you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to come to me and tell me that, oh man, these women are lost.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's not going to agree with you, you know, and and I just don't get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I have many books on Amilcar Cabral and Thomas Sankara. And I think their ideas, some of their ideas can work for Africa. I do believe so. However, it you can't just say that you're gonna like want Africa when things are bad in different parts of Africa. You can't just group us all together when things are bad.
Right.
For example, Nigeria, okay? Nigeria has so many of its own problems. So you mean to tell me that you just are going to say, okay, yeah, we can bring Nigeria into one thing with other countries and they have their own internal conflicts? It's not going to work that way.
Right.
It's not going
See,
to work.
see, I, I I happen to know the realities of Africa. So this is why when I hear these talks that the Pan-Africanists want to push, it's like a fantasy. It's like, okay, do you even know what you're talking about? Like, no clue. They want to tell you what should happen. Well, you are not qualified to determine that. You have to truly be, from that place and understand what is actually going on. But Fuller man, thank you for coming. I'm gonna bring in Sean too, okay?
Okay. Thanks
All
for
right.
having me.
No problem. Thank you. Sean, welcome to the show. Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, Aphrodamus? Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you loud and clear. Where are you calling from?
All right, perfect. I'm coming from Maryland, but I'm actually from Florida originally.
All right, all right. So Sean, what do you think about, Pan-Africanism and what I'm talking about here?
Well, I pretty much just agree with you. I think that Pan-Africanism is what a lot of Black Americans will use because, like, some, not all, but some think that they are like lost, quote unquote. And I used to be a part of a lot of these spaces, but nowadays I had to shift like from that because they're very like I just know that they're really like full of it because a lot of these people fail to understand that Africa is not just one monolithic country or even continent for that matter. I mean,
Right.
I even went to Africa. I went to South Africa and Namibia,
Uh-huh.
and like there's white people there too, and like I had white people and Black Africans born there telling me that I'm not an African, and that's kind of like when I had my rude awakening. I'm like, whoa, like
Were you shocked?
I mean, at the time, like I guess yes and no, because I mean I knew that I wasn't because I was in a Black American. I mean I'm a Black
Right.
American, but like I mean I can't really debate like a white African, like white South African, like on their Africanness, because I mean I know a lot of Pan Africanists will or pro blacks will disagree, like oh no, white people are not African, but in my opinion, if they have a passport, I mean, and they're from there, that's their home.
Yeah, well,
It
if
really
you
is.
look at the Olympics, you watch, you know, South Africa teams or in the world stage, you see white people in those teams representing. So
Yeah,
you as
exactly.
a black person, you think you can just get up and go to South Africa and say, "Oh, I'm black," and then you're gonna be able to represent South Africa. Like it doesn't work that way. I just want us to wake up to reality. People, not all black people are the same. Not all black people think alike. Not all black people have the same culture. But the uniqueness of our cultures and differences, when we learn about them, without any negative connotation, everyone thinks of themselves as beautiful. So, but when you come and try to discount what the individual is, now that's going to become a problem.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's what the Pan-Africanists are doing, and they are doing this boldly. And for some reason, it's like it's a mental case, and seems like many suffer from identity crisis. It's one thing if you want to learn about certain group of people, because even if you go to Africa, in an African country, believe you me, you would find out there's different languages there, different
Yeah.
languages. So you won't be able to learn all these languages, you see. So you got to stick with something for the time being, or the most dominant language that everyone speaks. That's just the fact.
Yeah, and a lot of these Pan-Africanists, what I've noticed is not actually Pan-Africanism, it's actually Pan-Niger Congo, because they always want to talk about West and Central Africa, but they never ever mention like wanting to unite with North Africa or even like the Horn of Africa. I mean,
Oh
some
well,
may
those
mention
are,
Ethiopia.
they're gonna say those people are not African because they are Arab or white. That's
I mean, they've been there, and I mean, they've been there in Africa as long as the black people have. So,
right, right.
like the
Yeah,
Amazigh and the Berbers, they've been there. Like I mean, you guys share a continent with them, the same
right,
way how Black Americans share a continent with Hispanics.
right,
I mean, like it's literally like two opposites. So there you go, right there. I mean, you guys are all African, the same way how not all Asians are Chinese. There's Chinese, there's Indians, there's Armenians and whatever, and Russians. So I mean, just one continent of people. I mean, I always believe like there's never like one homogeneous place. Not
no,
even Europe. It's
it's a
not even Europe
mixture.
like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
mixture. It's a mixture of people. But now you would see a Pan-Africanist, for instance, meet an African who say, okay, not Africans are Africans. They're gonna be, oh man, you're a sellout. Or they would, I saw a video where a South African white was saying he is more African than Beyonce and Barack Obama, and he named a few, Black Americans. And I saw some Black Americans come out and say, "Oh, how is he more African than them? He was born and raised in an African culture and socialized in an African culture. So what are
Yeah.
you talking about?"
I mean, he knows more about Africa than probably any of these people do.
Yeah, it's a delusion. But Sean, thank you for calling in. You made great points here.
Thanks for having me.
And no problem. Thank you. All right, we got Scott Caesar here. Scott, welcome to the show. Where you calling from?
Thanks for having me. I'm calling from Nevada.
Nevada. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. Okay, so in regards to my personal feelings about Pan Africanism, I mean, my for me, like I just think it's too idealistic. There's just too much ignorance to try to combat, like on both sides. Like, I mean, a lot of people I see like on this channel is a lot of piling on the Americans, and I understand it. People aren't willing to actually put in the work because I think if you really are a Pan Africanist, you have to understand that the work that you have to put into yourself to change, especially when you're coming from a Western culture. You're not, and a lot of times these people aren't taking in the African perspective. So, like, I'll give you an example from me. When I talk to continental Africans about government, a lot of them say, you know, they would prefer to go back to more like authoritarianism or having like a king as opposed to a democracy.
Hmm.
Now, me coming from
You
a democracy, I'm going to be more biased towards that, but I have to
wait,
take in you guys' perspective.
wait, you you be, wait, you met Africans that believe that they like authoritarianism? Where are these people from?
I've talked to people from the continent that say that Western democracy does not work in Africa.
Right. That part I agree, but I don't know about the um I don't know many Africans who want, the authoritarianism. I'm not quite sure about that.
Well, if you just have a monarch and you don't have like division of power, I mean, what would you refer to that as? Where you have
Oh
somebody in for life?
well, in the thing is that's not gonna work either. But considering what the people are now, you know, acclimated to what they know, but you know, that's not a big deal.
Yeah,
But
no, it's not. I was just using that as an example,
yeah,
but the point is that I mean, if you really want to be Pan Africanist, you have to take in other people's point of view. Whether it's a right wing or a left wing socialist point of view. If you care about the benefit of Black people as a whole, you have to understand that people are going to have different perspectives. As long as you all have the same goal, you can come together and be part of a team. To me, it only makes sense from a nationalist perspective. So you can go someplace, maybe you can marry into somebody that's from there. You can get involved with the culture, and you'll be fully a part of it. You could be invested in it. You could, invest into the stock market there. You could open a business there, et cetera, et cetera, as opposed to this panacea where everybody just loves each other. Like, it's never gonna be like that.
no, that's
And
not reality. That's not how life
right,
works.
right.
People, people. For instance, if you go to, most African countries, majority, you show up with your American dollar, you are able to afford, things more than the regular people there could, right? And you are telling them, turning around, telling them about where you came from is so terrible and stuff. Think about it, right?
Oh no,
If
I
you
I,
were
I
in
totally
their
agree.
shoes, do you think how would you feel? Imagine, LeBron James telling you, "Hey man, you don't want to play in the NBA. You don't want to get this money. The NBA is so terrible."
No, I
Like,
totally agree, and that's definitely something that where we're kind of slacking on our end is like, you know, people need to be able to hear both sides. So it's like the people that are going over there is telling the negative, and discouraging people that could come over here and maybe get a bag and take that back. I mean, these are people that still participate in the remittance system. They still care about their villages and their people that are still back home in the West. I mean, more so than we. I mean, they have a stronger family structure, even being across an ocean, than a lot of Black people do. They're living in the same country in the United States. So if people want to come over here and get a bag, let them. And we also should be telling them, like, hey, listen, because this is the difference between where you're coming from. This is our perspective. And then you let us know when we go over there, like, hey, it's gonna be like this. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be one side completely drowning out all the other sides, include like people from the Caribbean and people from South America. If we're all supposed to be Black, everybody's supposed to be able to put in their perspectives so we can all come together and you know push forward progressively. But it just doesn't seem to be like that, and that kind of goes back to the ignorance that I was talking about in the beginning. Of people just kind of get so caught in their own tunnels. That's why I'm kind of like, how can you be a Pan African? It's not Pan Africanist by your standards. Like, have you been reading the people? Have you been reading, Amos Wilson? Have you been reading, Frantz Fanon? Have you been, and have you been able to update this stuff for now? Because they wrote these books years ago. You have to
yeah.
incorporate some of the new stuff and see
Well,
what's failed and what's been working in other places.
Well, the thing is also others that promote this idea to say, oh, Africans need to stay in Africa, or claiming that Africans are running from Africa. Like, are you out of your mind? So you want Africans to just sit and stay in Africa? Oh, I've even heard some that say when Africans come to the United States, they are here to help, or, quote unquote, white supremacy. Like, what is even that? If you believe that white people are superior to you, that's not how my life doesn't revolve around other human beings, whether black, white, blue, or green. I am my own person. If you say these things are so terrible, the place is terrible, look, I'm my own human. I'm a grown man. Let me experience things for myself. Let me see for myself. But you want to pretend like you care about me so much because we all have the same skin color. You want to protect me from white supremacists. It's a total joke. Scott, thanks for calling in. You had great points here.
All right,
I'm gonna
thanks.
bring in two Niger too. Thank you. All right, we got two Niger. Two Niger, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And it looks like you are trying to troll Pan-Africanists again. Um,
Why do you think it's trolling?
yeah, because of the title now, it says whether Pan-Africanism is some kind of, how do you put it, a group think and in delusion and the past or something like that. So the thing about Pan-Africanism is that it's just an idea, isn't it? It's like a need. Call it whatever you want to call it. If Africa is having issues, somebody needs to sort it out. There has to be a vehicle for it. It has to have a name. And if it doesn't have a name, like what the gentleman just described just now, sooner or later, somebody will ask him, what is this idea you're talking about? What do you call it? It has to have some kind of name. It's like if you you have a dirty house, you want to hire people to come and clean it up, you have a name for the people you want to call. And this is how people relate to other people. This is why we ask for names. Why do you think people have names? So it's just a name. Remember, what Pan-Africanism represents is an idea about how to fix our predicament.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, to Niger, do you think somebody just simply being black? Okay, I'm an African, right?
Yep.
From West Africa, on the same coast as Nigeria. Do you think I can tell Nigerians, what their problem is and how they gonna fix their problem?
Why can't you if you have a solution?
I don't know what their problem is, though.
If you see a man drowning, do you bother to say, I don't know what your problem is? The person is drowning, you will give them your hand and you bring them out. You don't say,
but they are not
I don't know
drowning,
you.
though. Okay. Do you think, somebody from America, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've always lived in America, socialized in America. Do you think this person can come to Africa and tell Africans how to be African?
They cannot tell Africans how to be African, but they can give their own opinion. They can't impose it. See, sometimes when people give their opinion, we make the mistake of thinking that they're imposing anything.
But this person is not African. They've never lived in Africa. They don't know anything about African. They don't even know the language. They don't know the tribes. They don't know the dynamics. What opinion can they have that is benefiting to them as far as their dynamics go?
Okay, look at it from this point of view. If the people that invaded Africa in the last hundreds of years that came and did what they did, imagine if an African was among them. Let me just finish. Let me finish my point. Imagine if an African was amongst them and he knows how they operate. He knows the dangers and all the rest of it. He comes to Africa to tell Africans that, you know what? These people that are coming to visit you, this is what they're going to do to you. They're going to enslave you. They're going to do all these things to you. And then the Africans will be like, you don't have a right to tell us anything because you are not, just because you are not African. Even if you are black, You don't have a right to tell me anything.
So
You know that would have led to the same outcome that we are suffering from till today. So you have to understand that we shouldn't make the mistakes of the past.
Okay, give me a second here. You're talking about hundreds of years ago, right?
If somebody warned you.
No, but we are not in hundred. If we are back in, you can always go back. Wait, if it's 1861, then you can give me a call. But this is 2021. I'm dealing with what is here. I wasn't living back then. I'm talking about today.
But it's the same thing. They have an insight that you don't have.
They have an insight, as in what?
Because they are exposed to the people that are causing some of the issues of the continent. They have what I call proximity to power. If somebody
wait. So you're telling me, right? This quote unquote pan-Africanist you were saying. I'll give America as an example because that's where I live. That's what I know. So you're telling me those people, they know, they have the inside knowledge of what is happening in the higher up in the US government just because they live in America? Is that your stance?
They have a piece.
They have a what?
A piece of the puzzle.
But Tunisia, you've never lived in Africa, in America, and also these people are not saying anything that is related to that.
They are saying what they know. See, what you have to understand about human beings is that everybody have two eyes in their head, the ones that have eyes, and they have their own experiences, and they gather all the information in their minds and they share it. This is what we do.
So do you think Africans that live in America, right?
Yeah.
Do you think like if you live here for many years, now you would get the insight on quote unquote knowing what the government is doing? You
will know more than somebody that doesn't have an idea at all.
Okay. So well, I'm here to tell you that they don't have the insight. They don't have anything that they are bringing that Africans can benefit from or utilize.
They've lived with them for 400 years. How can you disrespect that?
400 years.
Yes. For 400 years they lived with them.
Name one person you've met who's 400 years old.
Come on, you don't start playing that.
No, I don't. I'm
telling you that African Americans have been in that country for 400 years.
Name one person
you've seen the wars.
Wait, let me finish. Name one individual you've met who is 400 years old.
Wow. How can you be asking that question? That's not
because it's relevant. Because I just told you that I've lived in this country for many years. Okay. So what you're just pushing that delusion. The people you're talking about, they're not even saying what you are saying, what you're trying to push here. They're not even saying that. You do realize that, right?
I'm just saying that they have a right to share their own opinion. They mean well. You can't push people that mean well.
Okay.
Say, shut up, get out of here. I don't care about you.
You can mean well, but what if your meaning well makes no sense and is detrimental, is not benefiting me? I should just say, oh, you mean well?
Yes, you mean well, but you are wrong.
Hey, the United States government meant well when they dropped that atomic bomb on Japan.
That is a conflict where they have to win the war. They didn't mean well to the Japanese. They mean well for their people. They want their soldiers to survive. They don't want their own people to die. So that's what people do in war.
Hold on. Let's bring in St. James. Let's hear what he has to say. St. James, welcome to the show.
I thank you for adding me, man. I wasn't trying to call, but Tunaja is talking that talk today, man. Tunaja, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. And you? How are you?
I'm doing great. So
Nice
you
one.
tell, so you telling the Africans that of because of the fact that African Americans have been here for so long, for what, 400 years, they have the piece of the puzzle that Africans don't know.
Everybody has a piece of the puzzle. You don't know that?
Okay, what
No.
could that piece of puzzle be? You have an idea? Can you share that?
Maybe to let Africans know that these people are capable of a level of this thing, atrocity and a level of viciousness that Africans are not aware of. Maybe to let them know that these people, their policies that they pursue in their countries is what is destroying the continent. Some of all those things.
Can you break it down for us? Like, give me
Yeah.
3
Okay,
examples of things that Africans should learn about white people.
basic number one,
Mhm.
that white people are at the minimum their rivals, not necessarily friends. Africans don't even know that basic one.
Hold on,
Because
Tunaja, where do you live?
currently I reside in the UK.
In the UK.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's a white country, right?
Yes.
Okay, keep going on.
So they at least they understand that the hostility they experience every day. See, in Africa, the people that are hostile to us are our own people. It's not like that for the African Americans. They see the beast
So
that is eating them.
Tunaja, have you lived in America?
I've not lived in the US, no.
So you haven't lived in the US, right? But you're saying that the white man is the devil, they are
I'm not
facing
calling them the devil. I never said they were the devil.
well, I mean, you might as well. Their
They are
capability.
doing what they are supposed. They are caring for their people. That's all I'm saying.
But you are living, the white man is so wicked. You are living in a white country. Is this been your experience, or have you talked to, because I notice you're talking to both me and St. James. Both of us have lived in America for quite some time now. So you are not even bothering to ask us, anything about it. You're just carrying on, telling us these atrocities. Like, for instance, you are claiming this. You've never lived in America. You are not asking us to confirm, yea or nay, but you're just speaking in vague terms. So can
Do you
you
know why?
can you point out some of these atrocities that you're talking about, that us Africans, are not aware of, that we need to be aware of?
You mean like wiping out a whole continent of red Indians and reducing their population to nothing?
Tunaja,
Or
let's break it down.
let me
Let's bring
finish.
it
Now
to
you
10
asked me a
years.
question. Let me
I know
list. Let me list them.
you're taking it to 400 years. You
No,
know what?
I'm
Let's make
bringing
it
it down.
simple,
I'm
right?
bringing it down
Tunaja,
to the current age.
Tunaja,
You're not letting
Let's
me
do
answer. Fine, if you
no.
don't want me
Let's
to
do
answer,
from
Tunaja.
1980 to 2021.
Yeah,
From
I'm
Tunaja,
bringing it.
Tunaja,
I'm bringing it. You
Tunaja.
asked me to name atrocities.
Wait, no, Tunaja. For the sake of time and people's understanding, let's reduce it to just maybe like saying, let's just start from 2000 to 2021. Let's give it that, just for the sake of time,
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. We can do that. I can even do from 2 years ago.
Okay, all right, carry on.
Okay, let me do from 2 years ago. Just before when the pandemic hit, the G20 countries took $17 trillion in loans. What do you think Africa got? Zilch. Guess what? Just about 2 months ago, the IMF created $600 billion. From nowhere, by the way, let me just make that clear. From nowhere. They said what they created out those funds for was to stimulate economies due to the pandemic, downturn. Guess what the whole African continent got out of that 600 billion? 3% of it. So if you see, let me finish the point. If these people can create money from nowhere and have all that money for themselves and use it to, this money they actually buy stuff. It's in dollars. It's not in Zimbabwean currency. They used to actually buy equipment that they used to make microchips, planes, defense stuff. But while Africans have nothing, we are fighting for scraps all the time.
Fine.
That is not kindness. And
hold on,
let me just make one final point. It's their own person that is saying this, not me. A white person was telling them this.
Okay, fine, right?
Good.
How is everything you've said? Let's say the white people created gazillion money whatsoever. How is the Pan-Africanist helping with this? Because you just said a white person said this. So you obviously didn't get this information from your Pan-Africanist people, right? So how is this Pan-Africanist going to help? That's my question. Because you're speaking of things. It looks like you're keeping close tabs on white people's money. But how is Pan-Africanist helping?
Okay, I get your point there. See, in my mind, when you mention Pan-African, just think about solutions for our people. That's all I'm talking about. So when we talk about solutions for our people, what you want to do is you want to go and invest on the continent, and so that our own people start owning stuff, so that we can start making things, because this is what the Chinese did. I will start from security, because that's where the Chinese started from. If you have security, then you can make things and sell to them. And then even if they create money, they still have to come and buy from you.
Yeah, but you see, Niger, you're taking us in a different direction. That's a different topic. We are speaking of the Pan-Africanist group thinking, the ideology that is being brought. How is this going to help Africans? Because you do... you're not letting me, you didn't let me finish the point. No, you would have seen how. But what I'm saying is, I just, because people, like, for the sake of time, I'll try to be quick. If you can kind of minimize it to these atrocities, these atrocities that we Africans are going to benefit from the Pan-Africanists getting the scoop, because the Pan-Africanists themselves, like, I'm over here in America, okay? And I've gone to some of their meetings. I've seen the things they are saying. So if what you are saying, they got the scoop, they themselves are not saying this, but this is what you're telling us. We want you to explain to us what information they are bringing to Africa that's going to help Africans. Okay, first of all, I don't know anything about the Pan-Africanist figures that we talk about, like Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King. I don't know anything about them, so I don't know whether I'm qualified to even be called. Martin Luther King is not a Pan-Africanist. Exactly. Okay, so and Marcus Garvey, he's back in the early 1900s. My point is that I am not a textbook Pan-Africanist. I am just somebody that hears when people are trying to do the right thing. There is no need to start saying, "Oh, why are you trying to do the right thing? Why are you?" Maybe the method they are using may not be correct. Maybe you have a better solution. Suggest something, because in the end, they are trying to make things better. Okay. St. James, go ahead.
Do you know the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus?
Yes.
Do you know any Pan-Africanism in there?
I don't know any Pan-Africanist. All I know is people that are trying to do good for their people.
Okay, so the one that are not in politics, you don't know them, right? But you know the one that are selling lands, the one that are going to Africa and trying to.
Oh, yes.
So those are the ones that you know.
Yes, like I know, like Brandon and a few others that have been to this Africa. Yeah.
So those are the Pan-Africanists that we should listen to, right?
See, I've said it before. You are making this.
With all due respect, you tell us. You just said that they know something that Africans may not know. And I asked you, are these people in politics here in the United States? Do they have clearances? Do they have access to top security information that we may not know? You said you don't, but you know the one that sell lamps. So what are we supposed to learn from them?
See, the question was whether Pan-Africanists are allowed to come and provide their own insight into the situation on the continent. I said yes, they are, because if you take a chip off the table, you are disadvantaging yourself. You can't do that in this way.
Opinion is good to listen to, but I'm asking you, as an African, right? As somebody who's not Nigerian, are you Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba?
I'm from the south, and
okay, from the south. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If I come to your town, right?
If I come from the south, right?
Okay, if I come to your town, the south, and I know there may be a chief in there that represents your people, right?
Yeah.
And I tell them, you know what? I don't even think this is a good idea to have a chief in that region.
Yeah.
So as an African, like from my country, you know where I'm from. I'm coming to your country and I'm in your state, and I tell your chief that, you know what, you should go, because we don't need tribes in here. We can take care of everything. So if I tell the chief that, what would happen to me? What the people would do to me?
See, let me tell you something. If you say that,
be honest with me. Just be honest.
Let me answer. If you ask me a question, you let me answer.
Wait, Tunaya.
Yes.
Look, please. I don't want us to try to romanticize this and try to make this difficult. We are all from Africa. Just answer the man honestly. Everybody's listening. There's plenty. Tunaya, there's plenty of Africans in this, who are viewing right now. They are all listening to what you're saying. So please be honest about this, because this is going to even help, your Pan-Africanist friends. Because you said solution, right? This could be. This is all part of the solution. The honest conversation. So just answer the man's question honestly.
Okay. The question was, if he goes to one town in south of Nigeria and asks them to do away with their chiefs, the point is, they will say, why? Is it so bad that we have a chief? Is it a bad thing? And if they don't agree with it, they will disagree with it. It's that simple. He's not bringing an army to impose it on us. He is just suggesting solutions. And given that our situation is not very good, if there is any light to what he's saying, you will be foolish to reject it. This is my point. We have problems. Somebody is trying to say, okay, I have a bit of solution here. Maybe it's a bit of, a piece of the puzzle. Because what I find in this world is that
Tunaya
has a greater wisdom than individuals.
Tunaya, I don't know if you heard St. James' question. He is going to show up and tell them to do away with the chiefs and the system. You are telling us they're just gonna say why, and then that would be
dismiss him.
That would be the end of it.
If it's not forcing it on them, that should be the end of it. Why would they? What's
no? I'm not saying should. This is why I'm saying let's not play semantics. I'm saying the question that St. James asked you, are you saying that would just be the end?
I don't know what else would happen if somebody says they don't want chiefs to exist in a village. I don't know what else would happen.
He's not from the village. He is not part of this village. He's not even from the country.
And then they won't listen to him. If he comes and says something in a forceful way and they don't want to believe this thing, they don't think what he's saying makes sense. But if he tells them that, you know what you need clean water so that your children will be healthy and all the rest of it, believe me, even if the chief is against it, people will turn on the chief.
Well,
you see,
but that's not the. But that's not.
You just.
But what I'm saying, any logical person knows if someone comes and speak of clean water and all, nobody's going to oppose that. But
that's my point. You can't always suggest the negative all the time, because sometimes what they come with is actually positive. It's not always negative. If somebody
Okay,
says
name
allow pedophiles to come into your environment, that is not negative.
Name some of these positives for us.
I've had some of them talk about how there is Western people coming there to take advantage of the young Africans. That is something that our elders should be paying attention to. If they were not doing it, that is something they should be paying attention to, because they don't have a culture where people just prey on young people continuously. But in the West, they do. So these people have an eye for it.
So these people are experts in this. Is it because they have an eye for it? Is it because they themselves do this?
Because in the media here, it is reported, and they have the consciousness. They have the consciousness that this in European people or people in the West here go out there to take advantage of young children. There are people that have been convicted. I think Mick Jagger or something like that. Not Mick Jagger, I'm sorry. There's a top guy, musician once, that was convicted because of even somebody that is even connected to the royal family was convicted. Come on.
So do you think, because I hear them say, oh, this happens in, especially they like to say Gambia, right? Do you think any European has ever been convicted of this and served time in the Gambia and then deported? Do you think that ever happened?
I'm not in Gambia. I don't know the history, but I doubt it. If they did, know about it.
Okay. So when it comes to the Africans, what they're saying, you don't dig into it or what these people are saying because they saw it on TV.
How many times have white people be convicted in Nigeria?
Huh?
How many times has white people be convicted in Nigeria or in Ghana?
I don't know,
they commit offenses, but they even committed coup in Africa when they were arrested. They still released them.
So you think that, are you saying if Africans, wherever, if they see somebody, a pedophile committing pedophilia on a child, they need the Pan-African to tell them that this is wrong? Is that what we're hearing?
If they are not doing anything about it, maybe if a Pan-Africanist come and says it to them, maybe it's not a bad thing.
Give us a case where that's happened and the people are not doing anything and a Pan-Africanist had to come and point it out. Because we've seen videos where some of these quote-unquote Pan-Africanists almost got beat up, where they would go and attack somebody or someone, with a child, just because they are white, right? These people adopted this child, and they are with the child. They don't understand the dynamics. Other Africans are there. They come and even stepped in. We've seen videos like this. Do you think that's what the Pan-Africanism is supposed to be? Because you see, over here, I see white people that adopt, black kids. They walk with them in the park. You don't think these black people see them? How come they don't attack? Okay, why don't they attack them here in America?
Because they know that America has systems to ensure that is not a pedophilia kind of relationship.
So
Africa doesn't.
Wait. So are you saying? Yeah, go for it.
Tunaja, about pattern analysis, right? Do pedophiles walk outside with their prey?
If in an environment that they feel secure, yes, they do.
So give me an example, like where you live in England. Have you ever seen a pedophile being caught with their prey?
In England, if they catch you, they know they are the worst of the worst in England. So they will never do it in England. You see what I mean?
So I'm just trying to tell you about pattern analysis. These people don't walk outside with their prey. They don't do that. Even if the place is conducive to do the activity, they will not. Basically, they know if they get caught, something's going to happen. Most likely in Africa, if that happen.
I get where you're coming from. And you also have to understand where people that have an eye for some of all these things.
So what I'm saying, so Tunaya, why do you? It seems like, without you saying it directly, right? One thing we've established that you hate white people, and
I don't hate them.
well, hold on. You know, you don't have to say it, but
Don't make that mistake. I don't hate them.
well, okay,
I
wait.
just care
All
about
right,
my
well,
people and what they are doing to my
okay.
people. That's all.
Well, you can
Why
care
would I hate
about.
white people?
Okay, and so another thing I've noticed in this conversation, that you've established that Africans are not intelligent enough to be able to spot these things, and you've established every white person you see with a black child, they have to be a pedophile.
No.
That's what you know, I've gathered here. You
I don't
know,
know what
so
they're
wait,
gathering.
and you said, wait a minute, wait a
Reference.
minute. In fact, for your information, right? In Gambia, they've actually, there's several white Europeans that have been convicted in the past, served jail time, and got deported. Do you think they needed pan-Africanist to solve those crimes?
No.
Then
If
then then how did they do it?
see, point is that if somebody from the US comes over and says, okay, I don't like what I'm seeing, this doesn't look good, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are the Christ and they are coming to save
Niger,
Africa. They are just airing their own opinion.
When in America, I see a lot of things I don't like. I don't like seeing black people shooting black people. I don't like seeing black people stealing from the store. I don't like seeing black people selling crack. You know, so what should I do about that?
You do some positive stuff to discourage it, isn't it? You tell
Like
you
what?
if
Like what?
like tell the people that the religious leaders or their leaders say, okay, this is what you could do, because you have
Really?
wisdom.
Hold
Let me give you an example.
Wait. No. Wait.
There are things you know about the continent. How see?
Okay,
You know how we
wait.
raise children on the continent. You know how they raise children on the continent.
Tonight.
You can give them
when you make
insight
it-
on how
when-
to keep
when-
them
when-
keep those rein their children in too.
When you make it to the United States, there is a city in my state called Mambello. If you come here, I'm gonna take you to Mambello, and I'm gonna see how you do as a Pan-Africanist. I'm gonna see how you help these people, you know, by stopping them from shooting one another or selling crack to their own people. I'm just gonna take you to that area so you can.
I hope you know Pan-Africanists are not they are not
I would
Thanos.
like to know
Because I don't know where you think they just come with solutions.
You know, Tunaja, you're an interesting guy. Let's allow Kwesi. Kwesi, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Yeah, thanks for welcoming to the show. The link that is being posted in there, not your one, the other link, it's not working, isn't it? So if people click on it, they wouldn't be able to come in. It's not working.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one Supergirl's posted in the chat comment is not working. When you click on it, it doesn't work.
Oh, okay. Let me drop it again. Maybe other people are trying to come in as well.
Yeah.
But Kwesi, what do you think about what you've heard so far?
Yeah, I was listening in, but it's because I was going in and out. You know, I couldn't catch everything. But I heard the part on the whole Pan-Africanism. That's the reason why I called it. And I heard Tunija's part. You know, and I heard St. James's part as well. In terms of the interesting part is the part about the village, and when you put the words that, can you go to a village chief and inform them to, you know, lose their title or something? Because at some point, normally when you talk about Pan-Africanism, at its core, you have to get a lot of leaderships in different parts of Africa to give up their sovereignty, not just the countries, but a lot of the chiefs to give up their land and their chieftaincy title in order to come into this Pan-African thing, or in order to buy it. Some chiefs could probably be bought with the money in terms of getting them to change their mind to follow this Pan-African ideology. I think that is possible, even though I think Pan-African is a fantasy. With enough money, some chiefs would be like, you know what? I'm seeing $2 million. I'm talking about the major chiefs of, you know, major countries. I'm seeing $2 million on the table. They may buy into it just based on the money side of things. But the problem will start when they have to give up their whole land and chieftaincy and the money runs out. That's when the problem will begin to start. In terms of what Two Niger is saying, in terms of if the okay, someone was in the comment section saying, I heard Two Niger say something in regards to if there were Africans in Europe or something, whilst Africa was being colonized, Africans in Europe would have countered or at least informed the Africans in Africa that this is what the Europeans are planning to do. I think something like that was Two Niger saying along those lines.
Yeah.
There were Africans in Europe during European colonization of Africa. Yeah, none of them leaked info to Africans on the continent. This is what was being planned. None of them did. So trust me, there were Africans then in Europe. I don't know if they knew about the scramble for Africa, but none of them informed those on the continent once the scramble for Africa began that this is what's going on.
Then it was harder, isn't it? Then it was harder because you had to travel all the way to Africa with ship. Now you can just go on YouTube and tell them, hello, this is what is going on. It's slightly different now.
So Tunaya.
And now people are actually trying to on the continent.
Hold on. So Tunaya, with all the millions of Africans in the Western world, right?
Yeah.
Africans directly from Africa, people like me, Kwesi, St. James, there's tons of people in the West, right? So you don't think we are intelligent enough, right? Or know enough to be able to say, alert, give the information to Africa. And you're saying YouTube, right? Just like African Parasite asked, like, who owns YouTube? We have to, even though you forgot about that. But I want to focus on saying, so we need the Pan-Africanists, but not the Africans themselves who live in the West, who know their countries, who know the language, who can connect with the people, can communicate better. So those Africans like us will be useless in this. We need the YouTuber Pan-Africanists. Is that what I'm hearing?
It sounds as if your understanding of Pan-Africanism seems to, veer off to African Americans or the diaspora somehow. Kwame Nkrumah was Pan-Africanist, don't you?
And
Africans can be Pan-Africanists too.
Were you here in the beginning when I talked about Kwame Nkrumah?
Yeah, but the question you asked just now doesn't.
Well, you're not answering, but I'm asking you what I'm saying, because I'm just trying to make it easy and even play your game. But I talked about Kwame Nkrumah being a Pan-Africanist and how he was taking Ghana's money and giving it to other countries just to benefit himself.
See, what they used to say is that you die a little so that our nations can survive. This is what.
Okay, hold on. We have a Ghanaian. It's great that Kwesi called in. Kwesi is Ghanaian. Kwesi, when you hear this, about Kwame Nkrumah's Pan-Africanism, can you say something about this?
I think for us Ghanaians in Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah was a huge letdown. He's the reason why Ghana is not where it's supposed to be. I mean, giving our money to Guinea, he gave Ghana's money freely. He didn't even give it to them as a loan where they have to pay back with interest, or even an aid where if they can't pay back, we have access to their resources. He just gave it to them free. He gave our money to Guinea, Egypt, Zambia, and several more countries on the African continent.
He was simping. He was simping to Egypt because his wife is Egyptian. So he had to buy.
Yeah, his wife was Egyptian, and he gave Egypt money.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ghanaians back then, and even so now, was like, what was he thinking? We need the money here in Ghana. Our infrastructure wasn't good then. We're still not a developed country. You should have used the money to build up Ghana as a nation instead of just giving it for free to other African countries to eat. What was the point of giving other African countries the money when we needed it over in Ghana?
You see that point you made just now. I sympathize strongly with it, and no, I sympathize strongly with it because if you want to succeed at anything, you have to keep the people closest to you on side. You can't, and I think that was a fatal mistake of Nkrumah, because if he had kept the Ghanaians on side, he probably wouldn't have lost power. And no one here will argue that if he had succeeded with the agenda he had in place, Africa would have been better off.
But what I'm saying is, did you just hear what Kwesi said?
I agree with him. I agree with the fact that
so
spend too much money
hold on.
overseas, not taking care of his home front.
So Kwame Nkrumah is out. Okay, it is other people outside, like you and this, people that are living fantasy, that are hailing Kwame Nkrumah as this great Pan-Africanist. If Kwame Nkrumah is the example, if he's the example of Pan-Africanism, then nobody should adopt it. He's failed completely. Completely.
Okay,
He
who
failed
are the ones that are going to fix the problem?
He failed his own nation, where he came from. He gave away money that didn't belong to him. In fact, Kwame Nkrumah also spent about 4 million to try to build this infrastructure, call it a school, in his own, just to serve him, self-centered. He called it to study Nkrumahism.
Yes.
Nkrumahism. So this man, everything about him, just like the Pan-Africanist, is about the opportunity. They want to lull people into sleep. So, to pretend that, they are doing this for the interest of the people, but they want to give themselves a leg up. All the people we've been hearing, your YouTube friends, the ones that are selling land, in the beginning, what was their story? White supremacy, white supremacy. The white policemen are out here chasing black men, just allergic to police, and when I woke up, actually, right now I'm looking at myself. I think I'm black. I don't know, but whatever. So somehow, I go out there, I see other black people just walking around, no problem, and then they show a drug addicted, unemployed black person who's had many, many contacts with police. He's got, bad rap shit. Somehow there is always some sort of thing involved that would bring the police there. But that logic goes out the door. Now everybody's saying this is what's happening to every black individual. Okay? People want to sell that story. Fine. If you believe that, you can believe that. But what's that have to do with Africans in Africa?
My take is that I've said it 1,000 times. If somebody's trying to contribute something positive, somehow you assume that it's always going to be negative. They are trying to they are trying to open businesses. They are trying
like what kind of businesses?
This thing clothes businesses, this thing furniture businesses, interior design, real estate.
Real estate. Wait. So I'm not even finished. So, we heard this story. It is, white people are chasing us. It's racist, blah, blah, blah. And then pretty soon, these refugees, because if somebody's running away from blazing guns and running away from enemy lines, that makes you a refugee. But we look at our refugees, and next thing you know, our refugees are now in the business of selling land. Now they are investors. See,
do you know how okay, let me imagine your own forefathers were taken out of the continent. Let me see this. You using the term refugees. You don't understand how terrible that sounds, because how that is not even sounds. You shouldn't call people where their forefathers were taken away from the continent refugees.
You said real estate, right? I had a particular YouTuber that said, she was talking about the place she is right now. She said the laws are colonial laws, which mean the country is still owned by the colonial masters, right? And that lady is still able to afford all these lands for other people with no problem by the colonial masters. It's kind of weird, right?
I don't understand what the problem is.
That said, the country still have laws from the colonial time.
Yeah.
So by that saying, they wants to tell you the country is still owned by the colonial master. Therefore, you cannot afford a piece of land over here.
They can afford a piece of land just because the country has vestiges of the past doesn't necessarily mean you can operate the African spaces there.
They're talking about the law.
Or she wants the law to be changed.
No. They said the law. There is a law in the law are still from the colonial time.
Yes.
Okay, and that person is in the business of selling lands.
Yes.
You don't see the contradictions in there?
They are in the business of selling land, but they are not responsible for the law. If somebody is selling land under the law,
you're missing the point.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. Make it clearer.
The country still have laws from the colonial time.
Okay.
Why are you putting your hands into that fire? Because you don't own it. Nobody owns it. The colonial masters own it. So therefore, you shouldn't be selling anything. You should not.
Seriously?
You should leave that alone.
So you are saying because colonial people put the law there, we should never change it.
Somebody own it.
So we should never change it.
You're not listening to what he's saying.
You change it and then you sell it. So if you haven't changed it, why are you selling it?
Because you have to exist for now first. Then while you are planning to change stuff, you can't say, oh, because you don't want to engage with the world, you don't go to hospital or something. I don't understand what you mean. You have to engage with the world as it is.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Now we get us somewhere to Africa. We get us somewhere.
That's true. You have to engage with the world as it is. It's
not really.
Yeah.
So if this individual is saying the laws in that country is colonial laws, this same colonial law was able, under this colonial law, you did not even restrict you. The white people are so bad. They set up this law. That same law did not stop you from buying land, from selling it, engaging in it. But you said it's colonial law, so it didn't stop you, right? But that same individual also, like you said, we have to exist like within how it is. Then why would they not exist and continue existing like it is in the West?
Because you want to make it better, isn't it? That's the whole point of
but
this
colonial
whole
laws are more. Hold on, colonial laws are more draconian than the Western law. Like the Africans they themselves could not even, have control of the entire land.
It's the same in the UK. In the UK, 0.0 something percent owns 50% of the land in the UK too.
Okay. Tunaya, I don't think.
See, the point I'm trying to make is that you are picking holes. You're not letting me talk. Let me talk. You are picking.
Hold on. But you're deflecting, right? You're deflecting.
I'm not. I'm just answering your questions.
Nigeria, Burkina Faso, all of our country were under colony. If you have colonial laws still in there, no one can sell land. You can't. The land is still controlled by the colonial masters. Therefore, someone in particular cannot be flipping lands. You can't buy or sell. The colonial master still owns it. So this is a contradiction. This is a contradiction because all these laws got lifted. People are able to buy and sell land now. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when those people are sitting on YouTube and talking about colonial laws, it's a lie. It's fake. It doesn't exist.
See,
it doesn't exist.
They are saying is that there are vestiges. Okay, if somebody changed something, let's say the colonial people came in and put A, B, C, and then you change A, B, but C is still there. Don't you think somebody has a right to say, you know what, there is C still there, so you remove that C, you now control everything.
So you have to be able to decipher exactly what is still in the book. So when you go on the platform and you're talking about, okay, A, B is gone, but C is still there, and I'm asking you the question, what C stand for?
C is
So you
standing
can't
for
tell me exactly
something
what
that they
C
don't
stands
like,
for.
something that has to do with limitations
So
of this thing, their
articulate
rights to own the
exactly
land,
what C
something
stands
like that.
for.
What does C stand
You
for?
have to be able to what it stands for the people of that country and for yourself. If the people of that country sees as it fits, it benefit. If they see that it benefit them, why should they touch it? Why should they touch
How
it?
do you know it
Because
benefits
it
them?
doesn't benefit. Well, this is the way is being put in the book.
She is
If they
telling
haven't
you
touched
now
it,
that from a
if they
Pan-African,
haven't touched it,
Oh,
Elijah, if
okay,
they
hold on.
they have not touched it, that means that this benefit them. If they didn't touch it, that's still this thing still benefit them.
Hold on,
If they
St. James,
touch it,
St. James. He just said, right? That means that they are informing the people about what is not working. So this individual, right? How come from the beginning, before they start selling the lands to people, making the money, explaining, how come they didn't say, this colonial law did not stop them from doing this? They didn't tell the people all this until now. And other people are going there on their own. This quote unquote colonial law is not stopping them from getting the land. And you and I both know, even Marcus Garvey himself, the father of pan-Africanism, he himself, he's never stepped foot in Africa. The reason why, because African countries were under colonization. They control all Black people's movement. So he couldn't go. So we all know the restrictions of colonial laws, right?
by and large, they are still controlling our movement, by the way.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's allow Kwesi to talk.
You think you have so much, that 1 billion Africans, you think they can go anywhere they like?
To Niger.
The only people that have free movement in this world are white people and
To Niger.
maybe the
To
Asians
Niger.
now.
To Niger. I can
Go ahead.
travel to.
You are a dot in the population of Africa.
Why? Okay, so these people are not a dot. What? So if the population of the Africans, the other Africans cannot travel, so that means I shouldn't.
No, of course you can travel. I'm just trying to inform you that
this is you see what you're doing.
The stuff hasn't changed. I don't want to change it. Sorry.
Tunaya, stuff have changed. It has changed. Tunaya, in 1900, if I were back in 1900, I wouldn't be able to travel from Africa to the United States to even become a US citizen. It's not possible. So let's not play this, semantics. You and I both know this. There was no way that was happening. So what are you talking about?
The fundamentals have not changed.
Tunaya.
You might think so, but
Tunaya, can you name?
I bet we can agree to disagree on that front.
Tunaya, yeah. Can you name the Africans that were traveling in 1930 from Africa, right, to Europe and America and becoming citizens? I'm not saying Africans were always traveling to schools and stuff, but name the Africans that are even from your village or your town that have traveled. They did what we are doing here. We travel. We came to America, freely and became citizens. Name those Africans for me.
Tell me one thing that has been changed that cannot be undone very quickly.
You're not answering. You are answering.
No, okay. You're
answering a question. I'm saying.
Let me answer your question first. If you are asking me which Africans were traveling during that period to have citizenship in the West, of course, they are not allowed to be citizens of Western countries, but they were traveling.
Well, I know that. I did say that.
They were educated and they were traveling.
What I'm saying, they were traveling. There was some that were traveling. I know that. Okay? But I'm just talking about today, 2021. Because I came to America way prior to 2021. But I'm just saying, you know, because you yourself too, Niger, if it was back in those days, right? Back in those days, you wouldn't be sitting over there in England, you know, with your mask emoji and, you know, talking talking your pan-Africanist talk. You and I both know that.
Okay,
Okay?
you know, if you existed those days, you would still be saying the same thing that you are saying now.
We
Like,
don't know
you know
that.
what? Let me
We
tell
don't
you what
we
you'll
don't
be
we,
saying. You know what you'll be saying? Oh, we are in the
we,
West now. You know, there was a time we cannot be here, you know, in Her Majesty's territory, reading in universities. Something has changed very positively for us.
We don't know that because I don't know what I will say. You don't know what I would have said.
You
None
will
of
say
us,
that.
none of us,
You are
none
saying
of
it
us
today,
know.
when not the fundamentals has not changed, you will
Well,
say that then too.
Well, I know that, you know, people, especially in Africa, even, you know, today is difficult for them to travel. But let me ask you this also real quick before I forget. So you think, right? It's a positive thing for your this quote unquote pan-Africanist YouTube friends to go to Africa, and you know, Africans are seeing them. They are saying they are there to invest, but they're telling Africans, "Oh no, you shouldn't go to America or England where we come from." You think that's a positive message?
I don't think it's a positive message. You know that point that you had heard you say it before, and I've wrestled with that point. I have people that I work with in Nigeria, and I've had cases where so many, you know, talented Nigerians are being pushed in the West. The solution is not to prevent people from aspiring, because people will always, if you stand in their way, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems. I think the way to do it is to channel it so that whenever they go overseas, they have to be supported so that they become a success that will be reflected on the continent
I'm
too.
just hold on. I'm just saying, okay. Let's deal with what is, not what should. Okay, you are saying. Okay.
That is what I would do. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, so you and I both, right? Like you, was it the Nigerian government? Was it the Nigerian government that supported you to go to England?
No.
Okay, so now you think you're gonna tell someone else, you see the opportunity where it is, you went there. And you and I both know the Nigerian government is not gonna come support you or that person to find the opportunity, or they're not gonna pay you the amount of money that you are making, you know, in the West. So therefore, you needed to go elsewhere where you can make that money and bring it back there. Right?
Yes.
Okay. And we know the opportunities are limited there, but there's tons of opportunity in the West.
Yes.
So if someone is telling people who are unemployed, who even if they're working, they're making pennies on the dollar, you're telling those people you shouldn't go be better. Is that pan-Africanism?
It is. The reason why I say it is because they are saying it from their own understanding, but they will fail if you say it that way. It's like somebody that believes in Christ. They want to convince some other person, a Muslim, to say, you know what, my Christ is my personal and Lord Savior. He has to come and save you too. The Muslim will be like, Allah it is. So everybody thinks their idea is the best. When they tell Africans not to travel, it's because they believe that if they travel, they are going to waste their life and contributing to the West and never return home.
Well, Tunaya, if I choose I'm living in America, you think I'm wasting my life?
You know what? If you spend up to 60 years before you return back to Africa, you wasted. Your people have lost you.
Oh,
because you didn't contribute much to their uplifting.
Really?
Yes.
So do you know how much money, how much remittances people send to Africa countries from various African countries?
We have been doing it for how many years now? What good has it done?
So what I'm saying, those my life, right? My life, belong, like I have the right to live my life the way I choose to, or the way other people, think I should live my life. Which one is more important, myself or what other people think?
Afro-demons, you have to learn to see when
No, 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 no,
something
no,
doesn't
no,
work.
no. But answer the
We have been
question.
doing
Hold
it
on.
for decades.
Decades. Hold on. I just asked you a question. My life is my life, right?
Yes.
Okay. Why should I care what somebody else thinks? How I should live my life and where I should live it.
Oh, it's up to you not to care. Of course, you can decide whatever you want. The point is,
Okay.
if you are correct, you will never remember them again. But if you are wrong, you will remember their advice.
Okay. What was the advice?
If they advised you, they said you're about to go to the US and you are just about 25 years, you're a genius, you can contribute to your country, don't go to the US, you will never come back again. Even in your mind, you believe that you'll come back. But by the time you go to the US, you spend 40, 50 years in the US. That by that time you are maybe married with a few children, divorced and bitter and about to go to a retirement home. You think, whoa, what did all this time go? If you wasted, let me finish my point. If it turns out that you were not very happy, you didn't contribute to the people that grew up with you, you feel like you wasted your life.
Hold on. So, Tunaya, your idea of somebody being in the US, working, doing their thing, it's eventually going to a retirement home. That's where they're gonna go.
Most end up there.
How many?
Maybe not the retirement home. They retire and they are not of great success.
But so do you know how many people here, Africans living here, that are way super successful? And like people have, like for instance, I'm very happy where I'm at. I'm doing wonderful with my life. So who is to say I have to live up to someone else's idea of what life should be?
No, you don't have to. You have to understand what they are just saying. They are just saying that fix your home, and it doesn't mean the way they are saying it is going to like.
But
I supported you. Remember on this one.
What I'm saying, you're not answering the question because you used several words. You said somebody living in the West, this is their life. They're choosing to live their life the way they want to, right?
Yes.
People are individuals. Because every man has to carry their own cross. When you die, you're dying alone. You were born alone, you're gonna die alone. That's what people hope sometimes. No matter how much this quote unquote people you're talking about, none of them would jump into the grave with you to say, oh man, I love this guy so much. He's dead. I'm gonna jump in the grave, bury me with him. That is not reality. The fact is, all of us have to live our lives. And the picture that you're painting, that is not the reality for most Africans in the West. People are here. They do what they do. Like they send money. Do you know? Like they send money to Africa. They help people there, and that's what they want to do.
See, a Nigerian author wrote a report last year lamenting that from the reports that he wrote, he said the vast majority of Africans that leave the continent, most of them never return again. And even if they return, let me finish it. Let me finish the point because this is a very serious point. He said there are empty castles, dead businesses all over the continent because the children of these people travel overseas and never return again. That the damage that has been doing that, the report, he concluded that by saying that all these rich people that send their children overseas, they should stop it because they are doing damage to their heritage.
So you want
the countries that they are living in.
But Tunaya, you are living in the white man's land, right?
Yep. You
went there for opportunity, and I haven't heard you say you're going back to Nigeria whatsoever. So I haven't heard you say this. Okay. So the world is pretty much, it's a very small place now. You can do FaceTime with people, you can talk with people. You have to look at in the first place, these people that you're saying are living, like somebody like you and I, there's a reason why we left to begin with, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if people say you stay there, because when somebody comes to the West, if they're dedicated, their life changes for the better.
Yes.
they can choose to stay in Africa. For sometimes things change, but not for many. So you would rather have people just for the sake of it, for them to just be sitting around destitute, not being able to explore their real potential, and nobody else is going to give it to them just to satisfy this fantasy. And then your YouTube friends who are saying these places are terrible, they are coming from there, they are able to come with some dollars or pounds and exchange it, and people are seeing that, hey, how are these people getting this money? Don't you think they should be telling these people, hey, and they are seeing how they are living?
Afridamus, don't forget, they're still getting money from the Western world.
From the Western world, exactly.
See, everything you are saying is both. It's like you are correct, and at the same time they are correct, because what is happening there?
Wait. We both cannot be correct.
Yes, both sides can be
No.
Wait,
Tunaya. If
how life works.
Tunaya, hold on, Tunaya. Yep. From what I've heard, this Pan-Africanist said, if they are correct, and you believe that they are correct, then you should be packing your bags and heading for Nigeria, because they said Africans shouldn't be living in the West. So you should be packing your bags. This idea that the picture that you paint to make it seem like people are living this great life behind in Africa for most Africans that leave, that's a fantasy, right?
Yeah, I don't know about that being a fantasy, but what I can tell you is that some Africans are living well. Some Africans are living well.
No, I'm not talking about some. I'm talking about, if you come to America, you see more, majority of Africans are living well compared to the ones back then.
No, I agree with you on that, but when you say,
so how are you going to
if
tell
somebody is telling you that
maybe
you should build your own backyard first before you go to some other person's house to build. The person is telling you that defer your gratification.
I got you. So you don't think before that person tells you that, why don't they live by example? Why can they build their backyard here? Because when you go to these black cities, Baltimore, Detroit, Philly, like you're gonna see abandoned buildings, where these places you could literally, the government is making it easy. Like last I checked, something you can just buy it, for like dollars, literally, $5. They just want to encourage people to live there. It used to be black, quote unquote, communities. Don't you think before you want to go across the Atlantic, why don't they just come together and build their backyard?
The reason why they are not doing it, they must have a good reason. If it's that cheap and they are still not going, they must have a good reason for avoiding that place.
So Africans don't have a good reason for avoiding that place.
What do you mean? Avoiding where?
Avoiding Africa.
Of course they have it. That's why I said you are correct. I just said it just now. You are correct. It's why you are disagreeing with me. I'm saying you are correct.
No,
and I'm saying they are correct too.
No,
they are correct to tell me.
They are there for the opportunity. Okay, please. Let's allow questions.
I will use a different method. I won't use their method. That's why I was saying.
Tunaya, you are a dancer.
I'm not.
Yeah,
okay. Come get dancer.
Next time, you know what?
You don't want to get yes to an answer. I agree with you, and you still disagree with me.
Tunaya,
How does that even work?
Look, I'm going to create a special song for you on my mixer. That is, every time Tunaya is calling in, that's gonna be your introduction song.
Oh my God! Don't even try that nonsense.
No, because you love dancing.
So
don't try that nonsense.
So Afridamus, Tunaya.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that Africans know Africans and Black Americans know Black Americans and British Americans know British Americans? Is it fair to say that right now? So
I
is it
don't
fair
know.
to say that we know what's going on in Africa, and every decision that we make is well thought out, and somebody cannot sway us to do otherwise? Is it fair? Like you can't school me on Africa. Like when it comes to Africa, you cannot. A black American cannot school me on Africa. There's no way.
You can't stand in the front of a moving train.
I
When
am just
Africans want
telling
to leave
you.
Africa, it
I
is
am just telling
unwise
you.
to tell them not to leave.
No,
But
no,
what
no,
you
no,
can
no, no,
tell
no,
them
no, no.
to
Listen.
do, yes,
If a black American or a British American wants to go to Africa for any reason they may choose, that's up to them. But I can't be schooled about me not being in Africa or me not trying to go back or whatever. I can't. You can't tell me that because I'm from there. I was born there.
okay, let me tell you something from a recent experience that I had. Somebody wanted to travel overseas to go and do some extra training and probably do
But
some work.
Tunaja, can you just answer the
Hold
man's
on, now. Let
question?
me give you because it ties to what he was saying.
Oh
What
God,
did I say to him? I said
let
to
me
him
bring
that
this
he
song.
should not.
Wait, hold
Oh,
on,
come on.
hold on,
See,
hold on.
this is
I
just
have to
unhealthy behavior.
hold
How
on.
can you start treating me like a dancer? I'm trying to be
Okay,
accommodating.
go ahead.
So the idea is that this guy wanted to travel overseas, and as much as I wanted to do what those people always tell them, don't go overseas. I understand because I left Nigeria too. I understand the impulse to leave. You don't stand in the people because you are doing better than they are doing financially. But when you feel that people with their mind should be on the continent because they are the ones that can fix it, even if that instinct is correct, if you tell them, they don't care about that. They care about earning a living and sending money to their family. So the only thing you can do is support them so that when they go, they succeed, and whatever they succeed in benefits the country that they've left. If they lose one person, maybe they create two more on the continent. Something like that is a wiser approach, because if you stand in their way,
Tunaja,
you're just going to get these problems.
Tunaja,
Yeah.
you think I should have just stayed in the Gambia and wait for this Pan-Africanist to come and quote unquote invest and paying me 50 cents an hour?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
I
just
agree
checking.
with you, Fedimus.
I'm
I agree
just
with you.
checking.
I'm just telling you that they are wrong
Let's
to
allow
do that to
Kwesi.
myself. I
Let's
don't
allow
believe in that
Kwesi.
approach. I just think that they have the right to say it, and they may be correct in their analogy, but it's not practical. And their suggestion is not practical. Even if it's correct, it's not practical.
Oh,
You
I'm
can't
glad
Jesus.
expect
that you.
somebody to just stay in Africa and suffer.
I'm glad that you're saying you're talking about something being practical. Like if I'm sitting in my house here and I already have a well thought out way on how I'm going to live my life, and the last thing I need is somebody to come and tell me exactly how I should live my life, whether it's in the United States or in Africa. You don't think this is like some sort of attack on me? Like I already know exactly what I'm doing. And you are telling me I need to go back and fix my country. I'm not the president. I'm not the ambassador. And you telling me I need to go back and fix my country.
It's just an advice. It's not.
But no.
Tunaja.
Yeah.
Did you hear? Okay, the man has a well thought out plan for his own life, how he wants to live his life. Who are you to come and tell me that no, you shouldn't be enticed to build your own life, focus on your life. You need to go build that country. And I'm not the president, I'm not a government official. The government did not put a dime in my education. The government did not send me here. I don't owe them anything. Okay, I'm a free individual, an independent individual who's thought out his own life, how they want to live their life. This is what he's asking. Why should I? Don't you think it's insulting and an attack on me for you or any other Pan-Africanist to come and tell me what I should do with my life?
I think it feels like an attack because the way you perceive it. I think in reality it's just their own opinion, and I know they will fail because you can't stand in somebody's way that wants to
But
better their
you
life.
see,
You
too,
know, you
Nadia.
can't.
So I've seen many of these Pan-Africanists, you know, they seem to be overweight and out of shape. I'm into wait,
Oh my man.
I'm into working out, exercising, right? This is what I'm into.
Pan-Africanists are human beings,
Hold
you
on,
know. I hope
hold
you
on.
don't think
No,
that
hold on,
they
hold
drop
on.
from heaven or
No,
something.
wait. Let me finish what I'm about to say. I'm passionate about working out. I enjoy it. But don't you think it would be weird for me to come and start, people that I'm seeing and try to impose to them and say, hey, you don't have the right to be fat? Don't you think don't you find that to be weird?
Yet some people do that, don't they?
No, but I'm just saying, don't you
People
think?
do that.
Because,
People will say what they think.
okay, my thing is, because I believe if somebody wants to be fat, right? If they want to be fat, they have the right to do this. This is none of my business. That's the reason why I'm giving you this example. If people, just because I'm into working out, that doesn't mean everybody thinks that way. That doesn't mean people do not have the right to be fat.
So if you
That's
have a
that's
family, if you ever have a family and they are getting fat, and you be like, you know what, I'm okay with fatties. Let's while I go to the gym, you guys can carry on munching on the donuts and all the rest. Would you do that? Because
none of
that's the right thing to do.
none of my business. I'm pretty sure, if they value the donuts, more than
Your
exercising.
immediate
That's
family, you will allow
yes.
them to carry on with.
After David,
I
let me
I
ask
don't have
Tunaja this
control
question
over
again.
anyone's life. Okay, I only have control over my own life.
Tunaja, let me ask you the question again. As I
Wow.
was saying, if I
Then
had a
that's not
well thought out,
Africanism.
if I had a well thought out plan about me being here in America, right? As opposed to somebody who's telling you, not I'm paraphrasing someone, right? That somebody's telling you, I'm running from white supremacy, going to the continent. Between the two of us, who should you listen to?
Please repeat that again. Sorry.
I just told you, if I tell you right now, I have a well thought out plan about me being here in America and it's working for me, as opposed to somebody who's telling you, I'm leaving America and running away from white supremacy. Between the two of us, who should you listen to?
I will listen to both. Why
So
would
what
I
do you
just
get?
listen to one
What
person?
do you get out of it?
Because four eyes are better than just two.
Okay,
To
so
Niger.
what
Hold on, Saint James, Saint James. You know how I know? Hold on,
Your
Saint James,
eyes are not the only
Saint
eyes
James,
on earth, eh?
Saint James. Hold on, Saint James. If an African, let's see, a Nigerian person, right? If a Nigerian, I can assure you, this guy hears a conversation about a Nigerian who was in the United States and he he runs away from the United States, for instance. He's like, oh, because I saw some police shooting on television, so that's why I left. What do you think the response, even from these two Niger, would be about that Nigerian person? Do you think he would be saying the same thing? Do you think he would forgive that guy for carrying out this decision on his own? Or he's gonna call him a useless person?
I don't know. I don't know. I think, see, the entire discussion is about Pan-Africanism, and I said what they represent is simply trying to help your own people, and
No,
you are
no, no,
trying to
no.
help your own people too,
You are not.
aren't
Wait
you?
a minute. Two Niger. If
Yes.
someone from Gambia tells me, a young person say, "Hey, I'm about that action. I'm ready to put in work. You know, um, I want to find opportunities. I'm gonna try to come to America." Do you think I'm gonna tell him, no, 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 no? Oh, don't come to America. It's such a bad place. Or I would affirm and say, yes, if you're about that action, definitely, you should come to America. What do you think the answer should be? The person is saying they want to better themselves, they want to earn higher income, they want to be in a place where they would have ample opportunity. So
Yes.
do you think this man, this individual, is trying to leave the only place they've ever known because they hate the place, or this is just human nature where people go to where they're able to do the things they want to do with their life? Which one is it?
There's two of them are actually valid. There's sometimes some people feel ashamed of where they come from and they want to leave.
But why would they
Secondly,
be
they
ashamed?
definitely want.
But why would they be ashamed of the place?
See, I've seen Africans that discourage their own family member to get married to Africans so that they can get married to Europeans. So I can tell you right now, some people are ashamed of their own cultures, of their own people.
Well, there's a reason why they're that way. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, because you see, you're confirming what I'm saying here, which is the group thinking of Pan-Africanism, and you haven't failed me, because everything you're saying here, you keep focusing on the group thinking. Group thinking. But remember the conversation we had a couple days ago. I told you, I said that group thinking did not get me where I'm at. And I'm telling you, man, I'm living a pretty great life right now. It's not the group thinking that got me here. Okay.
See,
my own thinking and execution, that's what's working for me every day. Every single day I get up, I take
you know that these isms is what creates the world. At least they have an ism: Pan-Africanism, Leninism, Zionism. What? Where are you? What is your group?
Wait.
These are the people that reshape the world to their liking. So if somebody is trying, see, when you hear isms, it's because of a need. Leninism, because of the need of the working class.
Okay, fine. That's great, right? I'm glad you said this. All right. I'm very glad you said Leninism. These are all individuals.
Capitalism, all of them.
Fine. I'm glad you said this. What about Afridamo-ism? Is that something you accept?
How many people are under your umbrella, mister?
Well, that's not the question. I'm sure, just like everything, every ideology you start, it starts with one, right?
Of course.
First, it has to be you, and then eventually more people,
What does it stand for is the question.
Oh,
does it stand for empowering Africans?
Oh yes, it stands for you empowering yourself, looking deep down into yourself and understanding thyself, knowing who you are, exploring.
How does that help the suffering masses of the continent?
Wait. So if somebody suffers, I should suffer with them. Is that what I'm hearing?
So you are saying, Afrodimus, your philosophy is all for yourself?
Lenin and Kwame Nkrumah-ism, who do you think that was for?
For the people.
Oh, okay. Mine is for the people too.
You just said it's for yourself.
Well, the people are watching, right?
You just said Afrodimus is for me, for myself.
Let's allow Kwesi.
You can't say it for yourself at the same time for the people.
Tonight, I have to make this song for you.
Stop it
Kwesi,
already.
Kwesi, go ahead.
Yeah. There's something that was being said that was, I wanted to jump in, but I wanted to let the conversation flow. I wanted to hear what everyone had to say, what Two-Niger had to say. Two-Niger was saying something very interesting that I think we probably have to debate, probably have to do a whole live on it or just talk about it now. And he said that if someone spends 60 years or whatever in the West, they have wasted their lives because they've given their youth or their skills or, their knowledge to build up another society. And I was sitting here thinking, how deep is it? Because sometimes you need to think deeper to understand what Two-Niger was trying to say. So with let's say 12 million Africans in Europe, doesn't Niger see that the Africans in Europe and in the North America send more money back than the whole G8 budget combined? That's about 50 billion.
Did I just mention that they created 17 trillion? They can create
Well,
money. That money makes no dent.
Again, you see, Niger, he just like a pan-Africanist, his focus again is gonna go to. Hold on.
We have been doing this for decades.
Niger, the man just told you what is being sent. You want to tell us about white people again? We're getting this money from the white people. Just so you know, okay? So,
yes,
okay, hold on. It's trickling down somehow. You know, last I checked, the UK is not somewhere next to Zimbabwe. Okay. Okay.
True.
So let's you know, if that money is printed and distributed here in the United States, Africans are getting it too and sending it. So let's not play that game.
Can you let me answer it? That point.
Well, allow Kwesi to go. You can answer later.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, with the Africans in the West sending more money back than all of the Western aid budget combined, and not only are we sending money to take care of our family, we're stimulating economies, growing businesses, building schools, clinics, hospitals. You know, people in Africa, a lot of people don't have the capital the Africans in the West have. So to say that we are kind of wasting our lives in the West doesn't really make any sense, because most Africans on the continent, or at least Ghana where I'm at, if you give them a chance to come to the West, they would come. They just don't have the means to. I'm sure in Nigeria, if America or Britain, UK put a plane at Lagos airport and said, you know what, free ride to the UK, you can come and live and work, the country, a lot of African countries would be almost empty. You understand me? So to say that people are wasting that, if anything, Afrodamus made a great point. You know, would you rather we're in Africa earning 50 cents an hour, or in the West earning $10, $20, $30 an hour? So if anything, you know, even though I'm proud to be African, proud to be Ghanaian, we in the West are far ahead of those back in the continent. So in terms of you saying people who are in the West end up wasting their lives because they've contributed to our societies and not to their own people, I didn't even get that part. So can you elaborate on it?
Yeah, the reason why I said that, one, I will start from the end before I go back to the beginning. The end is that we've been doing it for about 5 decades. Look at the results. That if it was a school result, you see that it hasn't made much of a difference. Secondly, the reason why in terms of practice, it doesn't do much good to just send money home when your mind is what is required, because you are giving them fish, you're not giving them the net, and the net is you are empowering the engine that is grinding your continent down. And so this is what I mean by wasting one's life here in the West. It's not obviously individually like it's a wasted life, but in terms of how you empower your people, yes, it is.
Hold on. So Niger.
Yeah.
So did you hear what he said? So literally, right? You would call somebody who is sending money to other people to help them. You rather have them also, just not put themselves in the position to be able to do that and be in that condition with them. What changes is that going to bring?
Why would I say something like that? What I said was based on the specific context in terms of developing your own country. It is not moving the needle, because every single person you give that money, they will use it to either pay for one amenities or the other, maybe build a house. They are not building a chip manufacturing company. They are not building a steel manufacturing company out of that. They are using it for basic survival.
Okay.
And in reality,
So,
they need a net, not a fish. They need a
so
net.
go ahead, Kwesi.
Yeah. Basically, Niger doesn't seem to be understanding what I'm trying to say, because people in the West contribute massively. Not you're talking about steel manufacturing companies. People, let's talk about the Ghanaian diaspora in the West and what they contribute, because that's what I know of. Forget about the entire continent. Let me talk about what I know.
How about address the point that it never made much of a difference on the continent?
Well, allow him. Really? Are you serious right now?
So Africa is gleaming of great success right now. Africa is a great success right now, isn't it?
Well, you're contradicting yourself. This is why people are leaving, because you start saying things, and then when people answer it, you're confirming exactly what we're talking about. People are leaving because obviously the opportunities are very limited, and people are in the West, right? Naturally,
Africa is failing. If the money was doing any good, they wouldn't be leaving, would they?
Okay, so if you sending money to someone who would have otherwise not get anything at all, but now you're giving them this money, did that change something in their life?
Of course.
So what are you talking about? You think I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I worked hard. Let me take my money and just, hey, I'm going to send it. Hey, government here, you know what? Take this money, send it to somebody, go to the marketplace in the center, say, look, Afridamos is the one that sent this. He wants to change everyone's life. Mind you, I'm not related to these people. I don't know these people. We all know that's not how it works. People focus on the people they are related to.
True.
I'm not the president, I'm not the government, I'm not none of those. I'm an individual. So my focus is to the people that I'm related to. That's how life works. But let's allow Kwesi to talk too. Kwesi, go ahead about the Ghanaian diaspora.
Yeah, I don't understand where two Nigerians going. You have to understand that sometimes not traveling and staying in your own country is not good, because coming in contact with other cultures and other countries allows you to learn new things. Even learning a new language is a skill. You feel me? Even learning new language is a skill. Traveling has allowed Africans like me who travel to the UK to learn about other cultures, coming because of a lot of things in the UK that's taught us. The education system that a lot of Africans had in the UK, they've gone back with the skills and knowledge, and our lecturers in places like University of Ghana. And you talk about the money we have contributed has done nothing. There are villages in Ghana right now as I speak who have electricity, thanks to Ghanaians in the West buying poles and electric wires and giving a lot of villages across Ghana and a lot of towns across Ghana access to electricity. It's the Ghanaians in the West who pay for it. They've allowed these people to gain access to information, to get access to the internet, because there's now electricity, there's now Wi-Fi, to gain access to television, computer. They can now do research. Now the schools in the villages have computers where the kids are learning information via computer with money donated by the Ghanaians in the West. So to say that Africans in the West have made no difference to the continent would be a big lie.
Okay. So the point I made is a simple point. I'm not saying you didn't make any impact. When somebody is giving a fish, it does have an impact, doesn't it? They don't die that day. They have food to eat. They make it to the next day. They give them a fish again. But somebody can be in jail and still receive that fish. You see what I mean? You have to understand the difference between somebody surviving and somebody thriving.
Tunaja, individually, I have opened up business for people in Africa. Is that a net for them to catch the fish?
Please repeat that again.
I have opened up businesses for people back home. Is that a net?
Yes.
So I don't know, like you
see, but the problem is that you are doing the right thing. You are doing the right thing, but you are criticizing. You are trying to say people that do those things are. It's almost like you're saying people that just send money is the same. What you are doing, you are giving people jobs. You are giving them.
So
if they are getting any training, you are giving them. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay,
you don't stop them from leaving the
St.
continent,
James.
but you train them. Go ahead.
Right, Tunaja, what Kwesi just said, right? This resonates to what people from across the continents are doing on here in America. I've seen community here from Senegal, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, Mali. They're doing the same thing that Kwesi just mentioned to you. Does that mean something? Does that worth something to the people left on the continent?
Okay, it is worth something.
We cannot play the same position. Everybody has to play a role.
True.
My role right now is to do what Kwesi just mentioned. I'm going to just go ahead and do that. But I don't want to sit here and be a critic. Like, I don't want somebody over there talking about my actions because I'm playing my role. If they have a different set of role, they can roll with that, which is fine by us. If they want to go to Africa and do all these things, which is good, good luck to them. But we are here, we are also doing our part. So what is it for them to sit there and criticize us? Because of the fact that
I'm not sure they are criticizing you. They're just saying that it's almost like saying, it's like I keep using the same analogy. If you give somebody a fish every day and some other person says, you know what, you can give them net. That is not the criticism. They are telling you that you can do more.
So Tunaja, are you guys meeting like the Nigerian community over there in the UK? Do you guys meet with your governor, how you call it, the ambassador officials? Do you guys meet with them?
I've never met the ambassador, but I've met.
As we meet with them, they ask us exactly what they need to do for us. They know everything A to Z what we need. So if they can't do it, everybody should be quiet. Because we have those meetings, we tell them some people finish school here, they have all the degrees the country can use, but nobody want to hire them. They go home, they spend 6 months, 8 months, almost to a year unemployed. They have to rely on the savings. They can't get a job. They have to run back to the States. Whose fault is that? It's not them. So we can't accuse people of not going back home. So we have meetings with our officials. We told them, I'm already making money here, and some of them have student loans. You cannot pause student loan here like that unless you lost your job. You can't pause that. So they have to find a way to keep paying a student loan while they're trying a new gig in Africa that is not even on the table.
Yeah,
it's not possible.
See, I understand that point. Okay, go ahead, Kwesi. Go ahead.
Tunaja, I wanted to ask you quickly that if Africans in the West are not making that much of a difference, then what is the alternative? Since you said the African countries aren't striving, what is the alternative?
The alternative is that when you send money home, send it knowing that, okay, good, you are helping your family, but you also have to keep in mind what Afrodimos has done, like set up a business and get people employed. This is preferably in technology, in areas that are harder, that allows our continent to be start manufacturing stuff. That is the key. Don't stop people from coming here. Like, I agree with what Afrodimos said, because that when people keep telling Africans don't leave because you are just coming to work for, no, it's not going to work, because they want to better themselves too. The way to do it is when they get here, support them so that they can do something at home. The Chinese, they did something different. The Chinese, when the Chinese left their country in the 70s, they made the people return. They made it a law that the people have to come back.
Jeez, here we go with the Chinese.
See, I'm not saying we should do that. I'm saying we can do that in a different way.
Tunaja, for example, right? This is why I ask you, like, do you think, does the Nigerian government have any power or say on you, leaving UK to come back to Nigeria?
If they had the power, they can. They have a.
No. I'm dealing with okay. Let me give you.
They own your passport. They have the power to tell you whether to go or not.
Okay. like me living in America. I'm an American citizen. I've acquired
Yeah,
all
but
these
before you
great.
had that, you
Hold
had
on,
Gambian
hold on,
citizen. If your government
hold
wanted
on.
to stop you,
No,
they could.
no. Well, Tunaj, I don't want to talk about what isn't. I'm talking about what is. Okay,
Okay.
if as a you know, someone from Gambia, by the way, it's not the government, not a single dime from the government, you know, helped me. They have zero help in me being where I'm at. All entirely done by myself and my family. So now, what say, like, what do I owe the government, or what say do they have to tell me to come back there?
They don't.
Okay, so Chinese, I'm pretty sure the people that the Chinese are saying to come, if the government sent you, because even from Gambia, sometimes the government sends some people for studies and all that, they pay for them. Those people, they go back. You know,
Yeah.
the Chinese you're talking about, if their government entirely is the one sponsoring them to go learn certain things, of course they have a say in that. But again, this brings us to, you know, individuals. People are individuals. There are some people who, just like St. James said, they have a role to play. People have their own life, they have their own dreams, you know, that is independent of other people. Okay? I don't have to live like somebody else, you know, just simply because we're from the same country. You know, they have the right to live that way, you know, and I have the right to live my life the way I want to. You know, if me as an individual, everything, my skills, things I've learned, things that's benefiting me, I had to go seek those. I had to pay for them where money is needed. I had to do those on my own. So, like what you're saying, that doesn't make any sense. What's the purpose of, learning all these things, that is going to help you improve your life? It's going to pay way more than the other place. But you're saying, oh, you know what? I'm going to leave, and go back to the place where, you cannot benefit the people as you would. You cannot benefit them or yourself as you would over here. But let me ask you, do you think if you're in Nigeria, someone in Nigeria, when it comes to education and knowing a lot of things and meeting different cultures and stuff like that, do you think they have that opportunity, let's say in America and Britain or in Nigeria,
To do what?
to learn new skills, to meet different people, acquire different knowledge?
Of
You know,
course, they have a lot more scope in the West
so
here.
why
See, you
wouldn't
need to let
so
me talk
wait
because you
so
you, you have just stated a
wait
lot
a
of things
minute,
that I don't disagree with.
so I believe what Kwesi was asking, right? Because you're saying what the Africans are doing, sending back home. In fact, if you look at some of these countries like mine, the GDP, the diaspora, what they are sending is a lot. It's a lot. It's even counted part of the economy now, remittances. And this is not only African countries, by the way. Even other countries, India, China, all these places, they have their people, but somehow it is only Africans like you, your Pan-African mindset, that believe to tell somebody to group think when group thinking is not what got them where they're at. Because when I was struggling doing my thing, where were the Pan-Africanists? Where were these African people that you are talking about? Where were they at? I didn't see them.
See,
I didn't see the cavalry.
the,
They were
the
nowhere
only
to be
the only
found.
group thing in Pan-Africanism is do something to empower our people.
So
So,
how
like
can
you are
you
doing now,
empower? Wait, good to Niger. How can you give something that you don't have? If you don't empower yourself, how can you empower other people?
I don't disagree with you on that. Why do you keep saying that? I agree with you that you should not stop people from traveling.
Okay, thank you.
I'm saying that
Thank
you
you.
should channel it. You should
Okay.
channel it. Channel, because
Oh.
like you are doing now. When you ask me whether what you did in your country was not a great thing, I said it's a great thing because you are creating jobs and you are probably giving people skills that they are going to use to survive.
It's not for me. I'm just somebody asked for something, and I did it. You know, like it's a good idea to me, and I was willing to help out. That's it. I don't sit here, patting myself on the back and say, "Oh, I'm helping those people over here in America, the greatest country on this side of heaven." You know, I'm employing, several people, many people here, which is, contributing to the economy, which is helping these people pay their bills, help improve their life, just like other people employed me before when I needed it.
Okay,
So
Alfred Amos,
so what is wrong with that?
what if you replicate what you are doing here in your country?
But I
In
don't
your
want to.
country.
I
Okay.
don't want to. Is that something, I'm free to do?
Of course, you are free to do it, but
Okay.
would it not be better?
No, it's not. This is where I want to do it. This is my country. Is that
Okay,
okay?
this is your country. Where your people are, it's not your country.
Who,
The
who,
people
my,
that you wear their uniform,
oh,
not
you
where you
don't
are
think
from.
you don't think my people are here with me?
So all Gambians are in America now.
Well, not all
What do you think
Gambian.
your forefathers will be thinking about what
I'm
you are
not.
saying
I'm
now?
not related. I'm not related to every Gambian.
Do you think your forefathers will be thinking, that's my son? Very
Oh,
good. Good
my
on him.
where's my forefathers now?
They are under the soil of Gambia there.
Uh,
And
I
you
rest. I
abandoning
rest.
them
I
to
rest.
call,
I rest.
to
I
call,
rest my. I rest my
to
case.
call a
Look,
soil
look,
that holds
look.
red Indians
To
your home.
Niger, to Niger. I cannot
Niger.
live my forefathers' life. I can only live my own life. That's my whole point here.
But your own point is that you forget that people see you and they see your forefathers.
Well, they can
You
see.
can pretend as if you are by
Oh,
yourself, but
oh.
you don't own
So,
who you are.
so, so when people see me, they see my forefathers that me myself don't know what they look like, who are
It
in the
doesn't matter.
ground. Hold on,
It
hold
doesn't
on,
matter.
hold on. So, Tunaja, again, that's what I'm saying. You seem to worry so much about what other people are thinking.
No.
That's what you're worried about. I'm not. I'm not worried about what somebody else is thinking of me. I'm not.
I'm,
I'm not worried about that. But
I,
you seem to worry about that quite a bit.
no,
And
I'm not worrying about what they are thinking. I'm worrying about
well, you
Tunaja,
just said it.
Tunaja,
you can't
Tunaja,
pretend. You can't say
you
that you
like
are
the
not your
Jesus.
forefather's child because that is what you are.
Tunaja,
That's the symbol you represent.
Tunaja. I'm a grown man who don't need a mommy or a daddy. Why would I be thinking about quote unquote forefathers? Why would I be thinking about that?
It's like, have you seen the Lion King? It's like that baby lion going on to think that, you know what, I'm not a lion. He was thinking that he was like a
Oh,
herbivore,
so
grass and all the rest.
wait.
You are
Have you
what
not
you
even
are.
hold on? Have you not even heard me? The song, my introduction song here, that tells everybody that I'm a Soninke.
And now you are saying you are
No. Wait
no
a
longer,
minute. Did you
you are
did you
now
not
an
hear? Wait,
American, and this
hold
is
on.
your country.
But I am. You see, I am. Don't I? Are you saying
So,
I'm not?
no, you are saying that's your country as a nation state, but
Uh-huh.
where your tribe is from is Gambia.
Okay, well, I never disputed that. Where my tribe is from, and I'm a born again American. This is where I chose. Where you were born, you don't choose that. But when you're grown, the place that you choose, that is your own choice. That's the point I'm trying to make to you.
Oh, no, that's a fact. Anybody
People.
can choose to live whatever they
Okay,
want. I'm not giving them.
so I've never said to you, my people are not from Gambia. Did I? I've never said that.
But you said something about divorcing yourself from that's
I never said
part of
that.
this
I
because you
never.
said I am
I,
American and
I
I
am.
don't. Yeah, but you said it from the point of view that you don't have much any kind of ties to Gambia.
You said.
That's what you said.
Hold on. You said what I'm doing in America, right?
Yes.
I
Why
should
can't you reflect
hold
to
on.
say you said no because
Tunaya,
America is the country?
Tunaya, do you honestly believe what I'm able to do here and getting, if I were able to do the same thing there and the opportunities are available, do you not think I would have taken it?
I don't know whether you would have. I'm just saying that if you have not thought about it, it's worth thinking about.
Tunaya, if I just ask you, if the opportunity was there, the same or greater, right? Do you think I would have taken it or not?
I don't know. You should have said that the first time instead of saying
Uh,
no. I don't want to do that. That's what you told me. You said I don't want to do that.
it's not
If you had
because
said this the first time, I wouldn't be asking again.
Tunaya, just like you, right? There's a reason why you're in the UK, right?
Yes.
Whatever you're doing there, if you could do it in Nigeria, would you have been in the UK?
If I can do it in Nigeria and make the same amount, why would I be in the UK?
Exactly. So that's why when
you
you
answer the question.
No, but he didn't say that the first time.
Tunaya,
He didn't say that the first time. He said
talking about this.
no, but he didn't say that the first time. When he said that the first time, I asked him, would it not be good for you to reflect the same thing that you are doing here in
because
the
Tunaya,
America,
the things
your country? He said he
you are not
doesn't
being
want to do that.
Tunaya.
He didn't say if I had the opportunity. He said he doesn't want to do that. America is his country. That is
But
what he said.
Tunaya, people, right? You as an African that travel,
Yep.
for you to even ask that question of another African, it's weird to me. Because you know that Africans that travel, there's a reason why they are doing this. There's a reason why. So I think you're pretending, but let's allow Kwesi to finish his point. Sorry, Kwesi.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say to him is exactly what you said. It took the words out of my mouth. I was gonna ask him, what if, let's say, the Gambia doesn't have the same opportunities for a Gambian to earn the same amount they get in the West? From say, for example, if I'm in the UK and I'm like, if I'm doing a particular job in the UK, say I'm working as an accountant, and or say I'm working as an engineer, and the Ghanaian government doesn't. There's no university in Ghana that has that sort of skills or that sort of okay, for example, I wanted to work in as an astronaut. There's no rockets or space stations here in Ghana for me to work as that. But in America, there's NASA. There's private companies that do low Earth orbit and have these rockets go into space and everything. A lot of African countries don't have the opportunity. So if you're a scientist or an engineer who builds rocket engines and that, you cannot develop your talent in any of the African countries because there's no foundation, education, or any company or any institution here that is in that works in space or anything to do with that. So in that case, you be in Africa, but you be wasting your talent. You would have to go to a country in order to develop your talent and your skills will be put to good use. So
Yeah.
to imagine that is what I mean. So you in that case you cannot stay back home if your talent is not going to be of any use back home in your country.
Yeah,
So
I think
how do you
I
answer
agree with
that?
that 100%. I agree with that point that you made just now 100%. But how you can channel it is, let's say, you are working as an astronaut in the US and you're making a lot of money. You can use that to start a technological STEM program on the continent. The point is that whatever you do in the West, if you fork it back to the continent to benefit your people in a way that represents a fish, a net, other than a fish, I think you get more out of it, because more and more of them. Because remember, you build an ecosystem. You start building an ecosystem, and they start developing further and further. Before you know it, they will not need to be coming back. The trend will be the other way around. So that is all I'm saying. Because we have been doing this remittance for 40 years now, and you see that the calculus has not changed. Africa needs to start creating things that people come and buy.
But they are not.
Kunaja,
So
But to do that, you need some people creating the ecosystem in the continent. On the continent, you have to create the ecosystem on the continent. That is the solution. You don't have people doing it with the resources they have here. So sorry, let me just finish this point. If you don't have people doing that kind of stuff with the resources they have here, you are not going to create an ecosystem that will support creating goods that we can sell to the world.
Well, that's the thing. Again, individuals, you cannot always wait for the water to come to you. Okay? Sometimes you gotta go where the water is. Okay? This is why you look at, even in the animal kingdom, in the safari, do you not see the animals migrating, seasonally from one area to another?
Yes.
There are plenty different groups of people in America. And the American Constitution is conducive for people to migrate to, and take advantage of, what is there. If you got what it takes, you can move there and do it. Simple. No problem in that. And hold on. Let me respond to this. Oh, we have truth be told. You guys, I want you to hear to his comments here. I'm guessing he's black. So I want you guys to hear this, and I'm going to respond to it. He said, if this is the mindset of continental Africans, he's saying they're in trouble. I don't know what have to do with him, but listen to the way these people talk. He said, your men make it. So should we say the same thing to you? You're over here crying about white people to give you free stuff. At least we come here and work for it. But you see, when you talk, some of these people, they pretend like they're the ones creating things in America. They forget that we live here, we see what is happening. He's saying, who you complaining to? No one is complaining. We're just talking about the nonsense that Pan-Africanists are trying to spread. The Pan-Africanism should be about, people to be able to freely move, to go access the opportunity, wherever it is. Yes, you're saying we have a whole continent, Chinese have a whole, billion people, but there's tons of Chinese here. I bet you if you're black, hold on, I'm responding to this guy. I bet you if you're black, he's saying, I'm guessing he's black. You're in the greatest country with the greatest opportunities. You live here, born and raised. What are you doing? Not building anything. So America is open to talented people to come here and take advantage of what is here. It's a corporation. It is a corporation. So you help.
But he's making a point, though. He says you have a whole continent.
So no, I do not have a whole continent. I'm from one tiny country. I don't have a say in other countries in Africa. So this foolish notion is not real. It's not real. Yes, there's a whole continent, but I'm from just one place, one little place. That's the place I can speak of. I cannot just get up and move and say I'm going to South Africa, and do what I'm doing here in America. It's not even realistic. No, I can't.
See what he's
no,
saying.
I can't.
What is happening to
but why should Africans only be forced to be with only Africans. That's my whole point. Why should African, like Tunaja, why didn't you move to maybe an African country?
I think you are trolling us now. You're just trolling now, Afrodimus. I've told you that I don't support people that say don't move.
No. You're not gonna be let off the hook today. You've been on this panel and these people have said all these things and you haven't pushed back. So
what have they said? I'm telling him that
no,
I didn't say that you shouldn't. You can't tell people not to travel for greener pastures. You can't tell any individual. Except you want to feed them, you want to give them the money they need.
Look, the fact is,
and that might not even they have professional aspirations that they want to meet according to what
my thing is, the world, okay, for me, wherever, like the world is an open space. I happen to observe how the world works, from a very young age, and understand that Africans in Africa, it's very hard for Africans to travel to other places. Everybody else could. But I realized there's this place. If I get their passport and become a citizen there, I'll be able to grow wings. And I want to explore this world. I don't want to just sit in one little spot. I want to be able to go wherever I want to go. That's what humanity is for me. So for those who want to, believe, you just want to go sit in that little corner wherever you are, hey, you are also free to do that. Okay? But I don't know.
But Afrodimo, do you know that there is an element of being the user there? Because the people that built that system, they are men like you. They don't have.
I built
the system that you are rushing.
Tunaja, I built my own company here. That's what I'm
built it in your country. They built it in their country.
No. I built it
in the country. Dude, they created.
Hold on.
You do yours.
So are you telling me the Europeans that came to America, who are not this is not their original home. They came here and built something, and they opened it up. Yeah. And I came here. What I built,
you rushed into their country.
No. Hold on.
You wouldn't come here. You wouldn't come to the US when the bloodshed was happening, because you wouldn't go there. You would not like to be where the bloodshed is happening.
Wait. So
you go to Europe instead.
So today, how many people you see? Whether Chinese, everybody that's coming here. Name the bloodshed that is happening that they are coming to. Who rushes?
I'm talking about when they first arrived in the US.
Was I? Hold on, Tunaya. How can I, unless I can time travel to that time? This is the time that I'm alive.
But you are doing it now. The reason why you came here, you came here only because they've created it for you.
Tunaya.
You didn't create it. That's your kind. Didn't create it.
Tunaya, I did not create where I was born. Okay, you're talking about a time you and I both went in existence. This is St. James. Did you guys see the title? This guy lives in the past. This man is trying to get
Some people are creators, other people just harvest. You go to where there is greener pastures to harvest. While other people create what you go and harvest.
So I just told you that I created my own company.
Now you see the beauty of doing that now. Now you begin to see the beauty of doing that. Because you have to be a creator.
Hold on. Tunaya, I created my own company. Does it matter where I created it at?
It does.
To you? To you? Hold on. Hold on. Wait. Tunaya. It only matters to you. You are not the one that created it. It matters. Hold on. It matters to me. I'm the one that made that decision on my own. Again, here you are. You're trying to group me in with you And
your forefather didn't shed the blood to build that land.
oh, here we go. Here we go.
Your forefather didn't shed the blood to build that land. And some African
so
Americans can even argue that they shed blood to enable you to be able to come there too.
oh, really?
So,
Okay. Whoa, hold on. Let's speak on that.
Were these people Africans, the one that were taken from the continent? Were they Africans or were they something else?
They were Africans.
Okay, so
they were Africans. They came over here, but he's not building Africa. He wants to travel to somewhere that has already been created.
Okay.
I'm not faulting you for doing it, but I'm just saying.
Hold on.
Just know where your category is.
Okay, so to Niger, because I was gonna ask you that question. So you said their forefathers. You know, you're talking about the slaves, right? Who were brought here.
I don't call them slaves. They were
okay. Okay. So where did they get these slaves from?
They came from Africa.
Oh, so they came from Africa, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that means Africans have been coming here from the inception, right?
Yes.
So how is that different from me coming here and creating what I'm doing?
They came here involuntarily. They didn't come here because they saw greener pastures.
Okay. So wait a minute. So I wasn't living back then, right? I wasn't living back then. I'm speaking of today. I can only speak of, when I'm alive, during my lifetime. Tuneja, I think you should try to live your own life.
If you're living then, do you think you will
Hold
come
on.
to the
I don't know. I didn't live back then. I'm speaking of today. What is happening? So do you even understand the United States law, how it works? Do you understand the Constitution?
It is relevant to the point.
No. It is very relevant because that's what I go by. I go by the Constitution of the United States of America, which afforded me to be a citizen of this country. So let's say Russians, other people who are living here, different nationalities, right? Who made that happen for those people? Is it the United States Constitution or somebody else that shed blood? Since you guys like to talk about this,
there are people did. There are people. They were the ones that came here.
It's not the United. Hold on.
Indians
So it was Russians that came here to conquer this land. So I'm speaking of the Russians, the Iranians and other immigrants, the Indians from India, because Africans are actually.
My point is that they all belong in the same category I'm talking about.
So wait a minute.
I'm just telling you that.
Okay, wait a minute.
They prefer to go to greener pastures.
So tonight,
and it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying.
Well, wait a minute.
Why you feel offended when somebody says you are not the visionaries that actually create the system?
Well, of course,
people that are creating it, they are different breed of people. Those are the ones that go and shed blood, sweat, and create a system for other people to come and enjoy. Those Africans that go to China today, all kinds of hard work to create China the way it is for them to go and enjoy now.
Okay, let's agree. So white people created America, right, and invited everybody.
Yes. Technically.
Okay. So you want to take me back to a time that I wasn't even born, right? This is why I said you should try to live, according to your own life right now. Just in case you're not aware, the United States, the 14th Amendment in the Constitution, which allows, naturalization, this was created way back. So, and you said it was black people that made it happen.
It was created not for you.
Tuneja.
Yep.
See, now you've caught yourself in a trap. If it's not for me, then why was I able to naturalize under that article then?
Because of the work of the other the enslaved Africans that came to America.
Well, I
They
give
are the
so much.
ones that laid the foundation for what you are enjoying
Huh.
today. So
Huh.
the
So
point I'm
wait,
making is
wait,
that
wait,
when
wait,
you
wait,
when
wait,
you
wait.
ban
Hold on. No, no,
Pan-Africanism,
no. Wait,
let me
wait,
tie my
wait.
point together. When
Tunaya,
you
you're
ban
speaking.
Pan-Africanism, what you are
Tunaya,
doing is
wait,
you are
wait,
trying
wait,
to
wait,
destroy
wait.
the.
Tunaya, give me a second. You're speaking too fast.
Okay.
Give me a second. You're talking.
Okay, go ahead.
You're shooting through things real fast.
Go ahead.
Okay. So you said that because those people, right? They were the ones that fought for that. Cool.
Yes.
And I respect that. You know, I commend them for it. But now, you've said two things. First, you said that wasn't created for me. Who was it created for?
The US was not created for you, but people
But
like
I'm
you
but
for it
but
so that you can come in.
okay, Tunaya. You are speaking in tongues here, because what you're saying obviously is a complete lie. It doesn't make sense, because if it wasn't created for me, okay, obviously I'm over here making it work for me. So that complete
People like you fought for it. People of your kind fought for you to be able to come here. If they were still slaves, you would not be there.
Okay,
so what is
but
Alpha is doing? What is
so
Alpha is doing right now?
yeah.
What is he doing? People, you say people that look like him fought for it. So what are we doing right now?
What he is doing,
How
he's
should we,
doing.
No, no. We both hold on. We both live here. Answer the question. What are we doing?
What should
You are living your life
right now?
Huh?
I will
We are
say.
not doing nothing. We're not creating anything.
No. Of course, you are creating something.
So we are
You are creating something. But what I'm trying to say is that, of course, you are fighting for. See, I actually said that he did some good work. Let me finish my point. I need to tie the point together, because the title of this program was to a kind of bash Pan-Africanism.
No,
but what
to
Pan-Africanism represents.
speak truth to Pan-Africanism. Use the right word.
Okay. But what Pan-Africanism represents is the creators of systems like that. The people that see the vision, even when it doesn't look pretty. They go there and do what it takes to create a system. And then when it goes well, then everybody wants to go there. Remember, there was a time Israel wasn't doing so well. When Zionism was created, there was nothing. That area was just a desert. Today, what is that?
I wasn't alive back then.
Okay, today what is it? Because of that vision.
Okay, so Tunaya.
China.
Tunaya.
Is China?
Okay, Tunaya. You live in Europe, right?
Yes.
There are way more, Africans in Europe than in America, right?
Yes.
Okay, so who made that happen for them to come there?
Africans made it happen. The Africans that used to be there. I mean, remember they took some slaves over there too. They made it happen, and the events in the US also expedited those actions too.
Okay,
remember,
whoa. Did you just say it was the slaves, the very few slaves? Slavery, by the way, was abolished in the UK like a long time ago. They do not have a population of blacks. We've never even heard anything about, no black people fighting for anything in Europe. In fact, a lot of the blacks that you see there, they brought a lot of them from the Caribbean, around, the First World War and Second World War. They brought them there. So that's England, right? Germany, let's say places like Finland, Ireland. There's tons and tons of Africans, all over Europe, all over these places. Some people, they, majority, they even have citizenships in this country. And these are white countries. So who fought for them to be able to come and live there?
I think partly Africans fought for them. Remember, the Second World War happened, and the First World War happened. Africans fought, and and remember, the number is not that significant actually compared to the size of the population of Europe, which is about 700 million.
So
and
they fought. You know, I'm glad you said it.
Africans fought in wars.
I know. Oh no, my grandfather fought in the Second World War, by the way.
Yeah.
So this is directly. You know, you're talking to somebody whose grandfather directly fought.
I have somebody that my is he uncle?
No, I'm talking directly, like my direct grandfather, my mom's dad. You know, fought in the Second World War. So great. I'm glad you say, you know, because my grandfather fought to help liberate Europe, right?
Yeah.
So okay, let's speak. So who? All these numbers of black people, because when you go to some of these countries, they have no history of slavery. They didn't have slaves there at all. You know, it's a new spot. Africans just started going there. So who fought for them? As you said, like, you know, if it wasn't for the blacks here, we wouldn't be here. So those Africans, you know, if it was, you know, who brought them there? Who fought for them? So
I think Africans have always been going to Europe for quite a long time, but they have never built up a reasonable population there. They have been, even from the Moors and all. They've been going to Europe.
So have they been
next door?
So really, so who fought for the laws and because you were saying that it was the blacks here that made it happen for us. And, you know, like someone is saying, we have tons of Africans now in China also. You know, you have them in Japan, you know, several countries that blacks, you know, have no connection with black Africans whatsoever. So who made that happen? You know, Finland, Sweden, like people are giving examples here.
Okay, let me explain something to you. Let me tell you why this things happened. After the Second World War, the old powers fell. France and England fell. The new power that rose up in the world was the United States. Took over. And guess who was in the United States? African Americans. So when that happened, the new paradigm was drawn up with the UN and all the rest of it, that this is how nations are supposed to behave. You allow people to travel in, everybody travels out. That is the beginning of globalization, really.
So that happened.
That is why you see all these migrations happening.
Wait. So that happened because of African Americans?
It happened because of Americans.
No.
And Americans are influenced by the action that they take.
No. Wait a minute. So this happened, according to you, because of African Americans.
Because of Americans. See,
but you know what you say.
You are not listening. You're not listening. Let me tell you. They drew the map of the world.
So Tunaya, you're not going to shift from what you're saying here. You said specifically, because you know what, maybe I might be ignorant. I don't know. So, you know, I'm hearing something I don't know. Maybe I read something wrong. Maybe the U.S. Constitution, you know, the history that I read might be a lie. Maybe I don't know any better. I just want to be sure to know about, you know, what you're saying here, you know. So I know, you know, like, because first you said it was the African Americans, right?
In the US, yes. For you.
For me. So okay, explain that for me. Explain that
one
to
is
me.
very simple to explain. If African Americans were slaves, you will not be there.
But they are not.
Because they fought to get out of it.
So have you ever heard of the U.S. Civil War?
Because they fought to get out of it. They fought in that war.
Hold on. So the slaves were the ones that fought the war and freed themselves.
They participated.
No. Tunaya, you want to tell me the United States, the Civil War was orchestrated by the slaves rose up and fought and freed themselves.
I just said they participated. I didn't say they set up the war.
How
They
did
started
they
the war.
participate? How did
How did
They fought. In other words, how do you participate in war? You fight. And one of the major reasons that can I finish? The major reason the war happened is because of slavery too.
What did you win over? What were you fighting for?
After the war, what do you think happened? Abraham Lincoln abolished this in slavery, didn't he?
Okay.
Because the side that won. Yes.
And he was owning slaves and he abolished that, right?
Yes, yes, he did. He abolished it and he paid his life for it.
Okay.
After he won the war.
And what happened next? And what happened next?
Then African Americans became, that the slavery ended, but Jim Crow took his place of other forms of oppression, which is still happening. So the point is, if they were still slaves, Africans cannot come there and expect to be free.
So don't add African yet.
Don't add African here. Let's just stick with this.
Yep, keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
So my point is that they created the environment for Africans to come in there today to be able to walk freely. By being free, by fighting to be free.
By visiting Africa and seeing our condition and telling us we need to come because they are doing good over here in America. Is that what they did?
No, I don't know where that point is coming from.
How did the idea came about? Okay, it's about time for us to reconnect with the continent so we can have them here.